it's me, Vampireleniore. Sorry it's been a while since my last video, but if you watched my last video, then you know that I've got cancer and life has been super crazy for me. I'm just kind of gonna blow through things, so don't misunderstand this as me being void of emotion, because trust me, it's been like the hardest time of my entire life. But anyways, I've tried to make this video 3 times and every time my camera dies, so this time I'm going to kind of blow through things and then at the end I'll get like maybe more personal, maybe not, it depends on how I feel. I'm winging it. There's no script involved with any of my videos actually, unless it's like a questions video and all I'm doing is reading the questions and then giving you my answers, but yeah, and also forgive me throughout this video if I huff and puff a lot. I have trouble breathing. Yeah. Where do I start? February 1st, I got a bilateral mastectomy. That means that they take out both of your breasts. I got my nipples taken off. The reason why I made this decision is so many people were inquiring and I felt like that was, well, it was a few people. I felt like it was a little bit not their business to ask. I'm not trying to sound rude, but that was incredibly rude to ask me like why I chose to get rid of both my breasts when I just had cancer in one. Obviously, I was making an informed, educated decision to get rid of both my breasts. If it wasn't for the greater good for me, I would not get rid of both my breasts, okay? So the reason why I did that is because if you keep one of your breasts when you've had breast cancer, you might get cancer in the other breast. They have told me a bunch of times that I have a high likelihood of getting cancer in my other breast if I were to keep it, especially since I'm so young, because when you're young, there's a high likelihood that it is hereditary. I did speak to a genetic counselor and, did the blood test and everything. There is an unknown gene variant. And what that means is that I have a gene variant that they've never seen before, so it may or may not be related to my cancer. Please don't tell me I have an unhealthy lifestyle or that I was eating unhealthy and that's why I have cancer. Like, don't try to play guessing games, please. This is not directed toward the majority of you. The majority of you are amazing and have been so supportive and it means the world to me. It really does. Like, some of you have been there more for me than some of my friends have. And that is awesome. You guys are great. But it's just hard hearing over and over again that everybody knows the cure for cancer or the cause of cancer, or it's not the case. If it was that simple, we would have knocked this shit out years ago, And you think for a moment that somebody with this disease didn't do research on it? As soon as I found out I had it, I did tons of research on it. So I'm doing everything in my power to knock out this beast. And I said this in my last video, but I'm guessing maybe people just clicked on my video, watched a minute of it, and then commented, because after I said, I'd appreciate it if people don't tell me to be positive or tell me to think positive, be strong, stuff like that. I had some comments saying, be strong, be positive, and it's just like, I know that the intention is good behind it, so I don't want to sound like a dick or anything. I appreciate the intent behind it, but it really sucks hearing that when that's like the bare minimum required of me. I might as well be telling everybody else to be positive, because you guys don't have to be, I mean, not all of you. Some of you have cancer also. I've spoken to a couple of you. Unfortunately, who also have cancer. And I mean, unfortunately that they have cancer, not that I spoke with them. But most people my age are really healthy and they can get out of bed every morning and be in a shitty mood and live their life and be healthy and comfortable. Not the case for me. If I don't get out of bed strong and positive every morning, I'm dead, or I have a shorter life, or I'm not going to beat this. That's the bottom line. So honestly, it's a privilege to be in a shitty mood. It really is. It's a privilege, and it's a privilege that I don't have anymore. I can be in a shitty mood for a little while. And I allow myself those moments because I deserve those moments. You know, I've earned this shit. Once in a while, I can cry. I can be in a shitty mood. But only for a little bit because I don't know how much longer I have to live. I've got stage 3. I thought it was stage 2, but I'm actually stage 3. And, you know, what if I don't live through this? I don't want to spend the rest of my life being in a shitty mood. So it's a privilege to be in a shitty mood. I rarely allow myself that privilege. So, yeah. So kind of moving forward here. So I got my bilateral mastectomy on February 1st. On March 9th, I started chemotherapy. Yes, I'm on chemotherapy right now. You don't lose your hair right away. Some people don't lose their hair at all. I'm hoping that's the case because I've got over 3 feet worth of hair that I've spent the last 17 years growing out, and I don't want to lose it. I'm going to be quite sad if I lose it. It really sucks. Having cancer sucks. Being on chemotherapy really sucks. I'm just trying to count, like, I know this sounds super cheesy, but I'm trying to count my blessings in whatever way I can. I don't like it when other people try to tell me what the positives of the situation are, unless it's someone who is also a stage 3 breast cancer survivor who got a bilateral mastectomy and chemo and radiation. Because those are the only people, and there has to be that exactly, that understand what I'm going through, because they have my exact circumstances. Sometimes it's just really insensitive to point out, like, oh, hey, at least your tits are never gonna sag, you know. I understand, like, it could be just a nice person trying to make me feel better, but it really, like, feels like somebody slapped me across the face. So I'm just trying to be open with you guys about things that kind of bother me, because I don't like it when people don't do that, when people just expect other people to read their minds. It's not fair. So like I said, it's not that I have an issue. I don't take issue with somebody who says these things. It's just something that I don't like to, personally, I don't like to hear. It kind of makes me sad. What next? Oh yeah, some things that I have had to deal with in the past month and a half is, if you follow me on Facebook, you know some of this already, but when I got my bilateral mastectomy, I couldn't even wipe myself for a couple of weeks, and that really sucked. It sucks not having your independence. I'm the type of I'm very nurturing. I like to take care of other people, and having to have other people take care of me all the time, that's probably one of the harder things about this. And I was told by my doctor that, yeah, like, most women have a lot of issues with that because we're nurturers by nature. Like in my relationship with my boyfriend, we both have ways that we take care of each other, and I like that dynamic, and I don't like the dynamic to be shifted so drastically to where he's taking care of me in every way and I'm taking care of him in no way. It just doesn't feel natural, but that's how it has to be right now, and this is not going to be a quick process. This is probably going to be at least a year, because my cancer progressed. I did have stage 2, as I mentioned in my last video, but I told 2 of my doctors that I thought that my tumor was growing and my cancer was spreading, and they kind of dismissed it, and it turned out I was right, and my tumor doubled its size over a 3-week period while I was waiting for the genetic testing results, and it spread to my lymph nodes. So I'm a stage 3 breast cancer patient, and they decided to go ahead and throw in some radiation therapy at the end of all of this. Well, not at the end, but after chemotherapy, I'm doing radiation. So hopefully that will take care of everything. There's no guarantees. There's no guarantees it won't come back in the future, but there's no guarantees that it will. So I'm trying to cling to that idea, and not so much that I will just like completely lose my shit if it doesn't work out that way, but I feel like either way, if they told me that I was a goner or that there was no way that my cancer was, there was anything they could do for me, yeah, I'd probably, you know, I'd probably break down and cry and like have a really hard time accepting it. And these things have crossed my mind. Like, there's just, even if you're the most positive person in the world, this is going to be hard news. I am flabbergasted by other people in two different ways that are polar opposites of each other. One of which is I'm flabbergasted by how insensitive and cold some people can be when you have cancer. You know, some people you think in your life love you and really cherish you as a person, suddenly they're not around ever. And you're just like, what the fuck? I've got cancer. You're never going to be around? What's up with that? And that can really, really hurt. But then on the other hand, I'm flabbergasted by how much certain people care. And it's like such a wonderful feeling. And it really uplifts me and makes me feel cherished, you know? And that number is a low number of people that have, you know, really, really, really like gone above and beyond for me, but it's more than I thought, you know, and I'm so thankful for that. And I'm so thankful for the wonderful boyfriend that I have. And, you know, my parents have been there for me a lot. And, you know, I'm really thankful for those things, especially in the midst of all of this suffering, you know. Sometimes there's days where I don't have a moment where I'm not hurting, no matter what pain relievers I'm on. And honestly, most of my days are like that. So you have to try to think about the positives. And that is definitely a positive, is just the fact that I actually have people in my life that I know without a shadow of a doubt they love me and they care about what I'm going through. And I'm so thankful. And I really love those people too. If I have to lose a couple of fake friends in the process of finding who my real friends are, then I'll take it, you know. What else? Oh yeah, I'll be on chemotherapy for about 5 months. It really sucks so far. I guess I'll tell you guys some of the things that are going on with my body right now. Sometimes it can be hard to swallow. I have nausea pretty much constantly. Right now is one of those few moments that I'm not nauseous at all, so I was like, fuck it, I'll make a video and eat. Because those are good things to do when you're not nauseous. My hands tingle all the time, and sometimes my wrists hurt. And I'm on a shot called Neupogen. It's supposed to promote blood, basically. It's supposed to like knock on your bones and be like, hey, can you make some more blood while we're on chemotherapy so that we balance shit out? And I was scared that I was going to get tons of side effects from it, but actually it makes me feel better after I take it. So the pain in my wrists went away when I started taking the shot within like an hour of taking it. I've noticed like old injuries hurt. I think I've only broken one bone, or maybe it was like a fracture in my wrist. And that was about 5 years ago. That's where it hurt. And I have weak wrists in general, so I don't know if that's why, or yeah. Sometimes I get sharp pains in the back of my knee or in the back of my elbows. And what's some other stuff? Brain fog, but I've had that pretty much since the beginning of this because of all the stress. Just feeling extremely weak all the time, but and having a headache a lot of the time probably. But I gotta say, and diarrhea. There, I said it. I have diarrhea all the time. Pretty much just in the morning, but sometimes throughout the day. Sorry if that's too much information, but... And that's preferred over the constipation that I had for about a month, because that can get bad. But yeah, it's terrible, but it's not as bad as I was thinking it was going to be. And the same goes for my bilateral mastectomy. I would say that was harder on me than this is. And it was bad. It hurt really, really bad. I would have like muscle contractions, and they would just like squeeze on my expanders because I have expanders in. They have to stretch out my skin gradually over like a year before I have to get before I get my implants in, because there's less possibility of risk. But yeah, that was like one of the worst pains of my entire life, and I had that happen a couple of times. Yeah, it was like, I mean, I still hurt most of the time. My chest still hurts. It's been about 6 weeks since my surgery. Yeah, my doctor told me, yeah, it might be uncomfortable or painful even for the entire time that you have these in. And it doesn't feel like a natural breasts, and I miss my breasts, you know? I lost like 2 large parts of my body. It's pretty difficult to deal with. I'm sorry if I have some positive shit in this video and some negative shit in this video. If you're one of those people that can't handle hearing anything negative, I was going to say I was sorry, but I'm not sorry, honestly. I have the right to talk about my experiences. And I know that most of you are perfectly okay with hearing about other people's issues, and you're awesome for that, and I appreciate the hell out of that. But yeah, if you're one of those people that doesn't like hearing anything negative whatsoever, then probably don't watch any of my cancer-related videos, because I have cancer, you know? I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to like just sweep it under the table and not look at it or acknowledge it in any way. It takes over your life when you have cancer. Like, I go to the hospital probably 4 times a week. I practically live there, so, you know, I'll go in for several hours to get chemotherapy. I'll go and get expanded every week right now. So, yeah. And then I have to get my blood drawn the day before I get chemo, and so on and so forth. I have to get a shot every day. So yeah, this takes over my life. Getting a bilateral mastectomy, I've heard without the expanders is not too bad, but with the expanders, yeah, it's pretty painful. The pain was definitely the worst of my life. The constipation that the painkillers caused was almost as bad as the pain from the expanders. And what I mean by that, and this is about to get graphic, so don't listen if you don't want to, like, skip ahead a little maybe. But my asshole basically turned out, you know, like it turned inside out, kind of, because I was in the bathroom struggling to go to the bathroom for 2 hours and having involuntary pushing. And yeah, that was tied with the muscular like contractions. So those two are the worst pains of my life right there. And I'm finally off of the painkillers. The other day I actually I started trying to go off of them about 3 weeks ago. There are bad withdrawals involved with going off of basically narcotics, you know. Like I would be up all night sweating and feeling really, really, really restless, and I'd have diarrhea, stuff like that. But I was finally able to get off of it, and that part's great. I kind of just deal with the pain now. My philosophy on pain has always been, I'll deal with whatever I can, and then when I get to the point where I can't deal with it anymore, I'll take something for it. What else should I say? Oh yeah, I was talking about how it was after the bilateral mastectomy. Basically, I can't sweep or vacuum for 6 months. I was able to wipe myself after 2 weeks. I am now able to dress myself. but I can only wear things that button up or zip up in the back, because I could probably wear something that slips over my head as long as there's a big head hole, you know, and there's some stretch to the shirt. I don't know. I need help washing my hair and cleaning my back and doing a lot of things that I used to be able to do by myself. I was sleeping on a chair in an upright position for about 5 weeks. I just started sleeping in my bed again a week ago. Yeah. It feels good to be able to snuggle and stuff again and put my arm around my boyfriend while we're sleeping, you know. I can't really lay on my side for very long. I slept on my side for about 2 hours the other day, and that is the longest I've done it since my surgery, because, you know, there is still a lot of pain and tenderness in my chest. What else? Oh yeah. I don't even know what to say, honestly. I'm just kind of just telling you guys about what I'm going through. I'm sorry if this video sucks. I just feel like I owe you guys something, you know? I wouldn't mind making like a normal video sometime. The only thing is that I don't have much to give right now. Just simply making this video and editing it and uploading it is going to take a lot of effort for me because I am so exhausted. But yeah, I wanted to talk with you guys and let you know, like, hey, I'm still here, I'm still kicking, and I, you know, care enough to make a video. And especially those of you who have been so kind throughout this, I want you to know that that really means a lot to me. And I could never really express like how hard these circumstances are, but I figured, hey, I'll try to just like let you guys in on what I'm going through and my emotional struggles and stuff like that throughout this process, you know, whenever I kind of work up the strength to do so. And you know, it's probably going to be about a year before I get my implants and stuff like that. So there's like I kind of like simultaneously have this feeling of I'm not like a whole person anymore, but then at the same time, I feel like I love myself in a way that I've never loved myself before, you know, like I see like how strong I am as a person. I always thought that I was a really weak person. And that's mostly because I had, you know, emotionally abusive and physically abusive people in my life dragging me down and being assholes or walking out on me and telling me it's because I was a negative influence in their life and they wanted to look out for themselves and blah, blah, blah. But when I look back on those circumstances, it's like, yeah, I could have done things differently. But honestly, like, those people were just incredibly selfish, and they should have been more open with me about the way that certain things made them feel. Honesty, at the end of the day, can really save you from a lot of things, and it can save your relationships and your friendships. You can't just expect people to read your fucking mind, you know? That's not a superpower any of us has, unfortunately. Actually, I don't know if I'd want to, because everybody has douchey thoughts sometimes, and you not like anybody. I was just going to say something and I completely forgot. See, brain fog. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you guys, people have been kind of asking lately about, you know, my address and like, you know, what address can they send things to and stuff like that. And I got a P.O. box, and, you know, I would appreciate anything, you know, money, I'd appreciate gifts, I would appreciate letters. Especially right now, and usually I don't feel very comfortable asking people for things like this, and some of you are probably, not you guys, but some random dick is probably going to watch this video and just be like, oh my god, I can't believe you're like asking people for sympathy and stuff and blah blah blah. But more than likely that person probably hasn't had cancer and they're just an asshole that's had cancer. I have every right to say like, hey, I need support right now, and that's what I'm going to say. I need support right now. And I know that so many of you guys are willing to give support. And if you want to give the support in writing me a letter, that's great. If you want to give me support in sending me a wig or sending me, well, I mean, if you're going to do a wig, wait and see if I lose my hair or not, because I can't fit a wig over this. But, you know, I'm just saying, if you want to give it in gifts, that's fantastic. If you want to give it in money to help me with my bills, that's fantastic. But if you have nothing like that to give and you just want to send me a letter or a drawing, that is fantastic too, and that would mean so much to me. I'm sorry if this is like just a big jumbled mess of a video, but just understand that I'm trying. And I just want to say again, like it might be hard to see this because there's so many things that I'm very sensitive about right now, but I really appreciate you guys, you know, and I really appreciate you like trying to be there for me. Even if you happen to be one of the people that said something that kind of like hurts me, know that I don't hold it against you. You know, I understand where your intentions are, and I still appreciate those intentions very much. And I appreciate you guys. And just like tell me, you know, maybe if you have some questions for me, tell me. I can make a Q&A. Or if you have like a request for a particular kind of video, preferably an easy video to make, that you would like for me to make, please let me know below. You know, like be open with me about what you want from me. I can't do makeup tutorials right now, mostly because they require a lot of effort, and also because I just am not well equipped for makeup tutorials. That's why I haven't made any. Originally, I intended to make pretty much nothing but makeup tutorials. That's what I wanted to do, and I have tried multiple times to make them, and I just don't have the right lighting and mirror situations and stuff like that. Like, I need to be more equipped for that. But I'm going to try in the future, probably when I'm getting better from cancer, but yeah. Anyways, and also you guys can, pretty soon I'm going to have some modeling pictures because I just did a photo shoot right before I started chemotherapy. So I will like maybe make a video about it or post some pictures and make a video about it. Just let me know what you guys want. And if you made it through this entire jumbled up mess of a video, thank you so much. I really am touched by how much you guys care about what's going on with me, and it means the world to me. Alright, thank you.